afternoon, everyone, and the top stories in the news after 8 this afternoon. Federal government stops active vice chancellors, rectors, provosts from contesting substantive positions. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps plans agro rangers training over farmers' care. Plus, independent National Republic Commission responds to public concerns over delineation of wards in Warri Federal Constituency. Do you love and care about River State and peace? Let's build and take it to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. I am Solomon Nelson Braid. Paramount ruler of Woji Town, His Royal Highness Eze Emeka Ihunwo, has sued for maintenance of peace and order in Woji Town. The king gave the order during a peace talk between the leadership of Muslim traders and their Christian counterparts on the recent crisis that rocked Woji Community Market. Elizabeth Amadi reports that a peaceful deliberation took place at the King's Palace, Woji Town, Obiakpor local government area.
Them to set aside differences for the good of the community and to foster a spirit of unity and collaboration. Eze Ihunwo expressed his heartfelt appreciation to the Nigerian police for their prompt response to the situation, ensuring the safety and security of the people, and lauded the Woji Youth Council and the chiefs for their unwavering commitment and active role in brokering peace, which has allowed the community market to regain its peace and stability. The royal father did not fail to acknowledge the significant contributions of leaders who have positively impacted the community and commended the former chairman of Obiakpor local government area, Honorable George Ariolu, for his contribution to education in Woji, particularly for building a new school in the area.
I'll be angry if I do something with you and resulted looking for who to kill or what to destroy. We have pleaded with them. The Holy Quran, like they also said here, has room for forgiveness. The Bible has room for forgiveness. So let them forgive so peace can return back like peace has returned now. We will not want to hear this type of thing now and in future, so they can live together. Those whose properties were damaged in cause of that crisis that day, I've also pleaded with them to look for a way to forgive and forget and be able to fix back the damages and go back to business.
Chairman of Ahia Woji Markets, Mr. Loke Nwarie, and the representative of the Muslim community, Usman Bello Lamadi, lauded the swift intervention of the paramount ruler in bringing peace to the markets, describing peace as essential for economic development. They debunked the news earlier peddled on some media platform that there was loss of lives during the crisis, explaining that nobody died, and advised the media to always cross-check facts in order not to misinform the public.
There was a problem in the market, but by the grace of God and the help of our Royal Highness Eze Emeka Ihunwo, it was resolved amicably. No life was lost in the incident. He has given us an elderly advice, and we are going to cooperate with it.
Yes, 100% assurance. We are here to look for our daily bread, and under my leadership and my ESCO, honestly, we take a drastic action, not only for the issue of this matter. We have resolved to tackle any difficulties that may arise later, and I assure you we will overcome all the challenges.
Also present to witness the peace deal was the divisional police officer in charge of Woji Station and members of Woji Traditional Rulers Council. Elizabeth Amadi, Rstv News.
Pupils and students of Global Integrated Academy, Woji, have taken a tour of River State Television. The school's extracurricular activities enable students to acquire more knowledge outside the school environment. Emmanuel Mayon reports that students and pupils were conducted around various departments of the station.
An excursion is a brief pleasure trip organized by the school for students to engage in educational adventure. On this note, Global Integrated Academy WOJI took the tour based on its tendency to add reality to learning experiences, which consequently enriches the courses of study and motivate both teachers and learners. Team leader Confidence Basi said they were in the River State Television to increase the chances of the learners retaining what is being taught in the classroom. She said children learn about different professions, ideas, and opportunities when they travel outside their neighborhood, increasing their desire to try new things because of the interest it sparks in them.
Global Integrated Academy is a school that every child would love to be, and it's also a school where parents want their children to be trained. Our teachers are well trained, our teachers are well organized, they are also disciplined too. I'm here to expose our students to the River State Television. They've been hearing about the media, the news, but they've never been there before to know what happens there. So the school made it right to say, okay, let's just bring these children out to expose them to these things.
Students were conducted around various departments, including the newsroom, studio, and engineering division, among others, by Sopriye Jaja, and they said this.
I'm happy that Global Integrated Academy brought us, their students, to Rstv to learn so much about the newscasters, not only to watch them on TV, and to also know how they do what we watch on TV.
In the studio, that's where they broadcast the news, which is gotten from the newsroom. From the newsroom, it is given in something they call the bulletin, taken into the theater to be broadcasted live to other televisions.
My experience here was very, very good and delightful to me. I was enlightened on different things here.
One of the favorite things about my school is our playground. We have swings and slides. It's so much fun to play outside with my friends. We also have a science laboratory where we carry out lots of cool experiments. Overall, my school is an amazing place to learn and have fun.
Emmanuel Emenyono, Rstv News.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Alauza, has approved the implementation of a guidance policy on eligibility for the appointment of vice-chancellors, rectors, and provosts, following recent crisis which trailed the appointment of institutional heads in certain public universities and other tertiary institutions nationwide. The policy, which was announced by the Director of Press, Federal Ministry of Education, Folashade Borewu, today, said the new policy aims to eliminate all qualified candidates and strengthen institutional governance. The policy stipulates that any officer serving in an acting capacity as Vice-Chancellor, Rector, or Provost shall not be eligible to apply for the substantive position while still holding the acting appointment. Dr. Lauza added that in the interest of fairness, such officers may choose to recuse themselves from their acting positions before the expiration of their non-renewable 6-month tenure, thereby becoming eligible to apply for the substantive roles. Away from that, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Epo, has said Nigeria's gas development objective was gaining traction with more private sector investment in the sector. The minister spoke following a contract deal between a Nigerian firm, Temile Development Company Limited, and Hyundai Heavy Industries for the construction of an 88,000 cubic meter very large gas carrier, VLGC. He described the deal as a significant milestone in the collective journey towards realizing Nigeria's decade of gas vision. The contract signed in London, United Kingdom, alongside a deal for the construction supervision contract with the NLNG Shipping and Marine Limited is valued at over $250 million. This brings TDC's total investments in the gas sector to over $450 million within the last 4 years. The Decade of Gas Initiative, launched in 2021, is a strategic effort by the federal government to harness the country's abundant natural gas resources for economic development and energy transition. The initiative aims to transform Nigeria into a gas-powered economy by 2030 through a series of policy reforms, infrastructure development, and investment attraction strategies. ECBO also reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to providing necessary incentives and enablers to catalyze the economy, adding that investment would contribute to Nigeria's economic development, poverty eradication, and wealth creation. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has expressed its commitment to reviewing its security strategy following the death of 65 farmers due to attacks by bandits. Spokesperson for the NSCDC, Afolabi Babawale, who disclosed this, said despite the development of 10,000 agro-rangers, these assaults have continued to disrupt farming activities across the nation. Babawale explained that the NCDC Commandant General, Dr. Ahmed Audi, is conducting a thorough review of its specialized units, particularly the agro-rangers, in response to the escalating security challenges. According to the spokesperson, the review aims to enhance the effectiveness of security operations to protect farmers, focusing on improving coordination with other security agencies, local communities, and vigilance. Babawale further said that the CG had emphasized the importance of specialized training for NCDC personnel to better address the emerging threats. He assured the public that the Corps was fully committed to finding solutions to the security issues affecting farmers and improving collaboration with other security forces. Meanwhile, the federal government has also taken steps to addressing the issue. You're still watching News at 3. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. And in part 2, after the break, Gabon prepares for first presidential election since 2023 coup. In sports, Flying Eagles Information and Voter Education Committee Sam Olumekun today. The move followed a Supreme Court judgment delivered on December 2nd, 2022, which directed the Commission to undertake the delineation of wards in Warri North, Warri South, Warri Southwest local government areas. Olumekun said, in compliance with the ruling, INEC began a series of consultations in February 2023, engaging with stakeholders across affected areas up until July 2024, adding that the process included field work in the communities and led to the development of a draft report. Addressing concerns, the Commission emphasized that the draft is not a final decision and urged stakeholders to submit their observations for further deliberations. INEC also appealed to all parties involved to maintain peace and avoid actions that could disrupt security in the constituencies. The Commission reaffirmed its commitment to fairness, equity, and rule of law, and inclusive dialogue throughout the delineation process. Moving on, from Gabon comes the report that a military officer, Brice Oligui Nguema, who became popular after leading the coup against former long-time ruler Ali Bongo and currently interim president, will win on Saturday as polls predict. Nguema gained support of many Gabonese on the grounds of his campaign on platform of anti-corruption and change, as well as his key role in the coup in 2023. Gabonese new constitution adopted a referendum in November sets the presidential term at 7 years, renewable once. Nguema's main challenger is Bongo, former Prime Minister Alain Claude Billy by Inze, who has promised to reorganize public finances, create jobs, and reduce dependency on former colonial ruler France. The campaigns of the other 7 candidates have been subdued compared to Oligui Nguema's, and the interim president has received support from almost all sides of the political landscape. Reports say Alain Claude Billy by Inze is considered to be the only other candidate with some political weight grinds. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati, during the second ministerial meeting of the EU Horn of Africa Migration Route Initiative, also called Khartoum Process, said Egypt has made strenuous efforts to tackle migration and asked for more support from European nations. According to Abdelati, no migrant boats have left the Egyptian coast since 2016, when Egypt implemented its national migration strategy. Minister of State and the Federal Foreign Office of Germany, Katja Kiel, during the conference said the loss of funds from American Development Agency, USAID, has left a hole in humanitarian aid funds for countries along the main migration route from the Horn of Africa to Europe, and these include Sudan and South Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Somalia, among others. Egypt currently hosts more than 9 million refugees, with most of them coming from Syria, Yemen, and Sudan. The meeting of 11 heads of state and 20 representatives from Latin America and the Caribbean, a bloc known as the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, was marked by a call to put aside differences in the face of global tensions. President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico said during the summit that Latin America and the Caribbean require unity and solidarity. Sheinbaum insisted on the need for cooperation, reiterated that the structural causes must be addressed, and rejected the criminalization of brothers and sisters of the continent who, for some reasons, have had the need to migrate north. Trump had suspended his global tariffs for 90 days on most countries other than China, which was hit with increased 125% tariffs, another escalation in the trade war between the two countries. And on entertainment, Nigerian music sensation David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has officially announced the date of his white wedding with his wife Chioma Roland Adeleke. Davido made the announcement 10 months after their star-studded traditional marriage, which was held in Lagos. Davido and Chioma had a luxurious traditional wedding and a star-studded ceremony in June 2024 at Echo Hotels, Lagos. Reports say Davido announced that the highly anticipated white wedding will be taking place in August 2025 in Miami. And in sports, 7-time African champions Flying Eagles have returned to Abuja as they step up preparations for the 2024 Under-20 African Cup of Nations, scheduled to kick off later this month in Egypt. The Nigerian squad moved back to the Federal Capital Territory following a 3-week training camp in Katsina, where they had initially gone to acclimatize the weather conditions similar to those expected in Ivory Coast, where the tournament was meant to take off. The change in location became necessary after Ivory Coast's late withdrawal as hosts, forcing the Confederation of African Football to shift the competition to Egypt, which previously hosted the 2023 edition. NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohamed Sanusi said the coaches have had some useful time to work on the team, and it is now down to the final stages of preparation where the accent will be on tactical and technical formations. The squad will utilize the FIFA Goal Project training facility for their seasons before departing for Egypt within the next week. Meanwhile, head coach Aliyu Zubairu, who guided the team to successfully defend their WAFU B Under-20 Championship title in Togo last October, has called up 35 players for the Abuja camp, comprising 3 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 10 midfielders, and 14 forwards. All 4 semi-finalists at the tournament will secure qualification to represent Africa at this year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup Finals, scheduled for Chile from September 27 to October 18. Still in sports, the board of the Nigerian Premier League Football League has imposed a fine of 5 billion naira on Shooting Stars Sports Club over fans' attack on the Ikorodu city entourage at the Lekon Salami Stadium. Reports say players and officials of Ikorodu City needed the intervention of the Nigerian Army operatives before they could exit the stadium in Ibadan after a goalless draw against 3SC. Players and officials of Ikorodu City Football Club were held hostage by irate Shooting Stars fans following the goalless draw in the Southwest Derby at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. According to Ikorodu City's Director of Media and Communications, Samuel Bamishebi, the away team were locked inside the stadium to prevent the angry fans outside from coming inside. In a statement, NPFL said 3SC was found guilty of all 3 counts for failure to provide adequate security, failure to ensure proper conduct of their supporters, resulting in attack on opponents and throwing of objects to the field of play and referees. The league body then fined 3SC 1 million naira for each charge and ordered an additional 2 million naira to be paid for the damage caused to the Ikorodu City Bus. NPFL then ordered the closure of the Lekon Salami Stadium to fans for the rest of the season. And that's it on the news. But just before we leave, do you love and care about River State and a peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. I am Solomon Nelson. I'll see you again at 7:30 p.m. Good afternoon.